All right, let's talk about the Acolyte
Right now?
episode 8
Are
finale.
you sure you don't want to talk college football?
You want to split them up?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you want to do?
I want to just get through it. Because I want to say something right now. I bitched and moaned about the last episode. I will say this. I enjoyed this episode, and I also would have really liked this as a Disney Plus movie.
Yeah, what
What
is
a
the deal?
fucking
Just
waste
make a
of-
fucking movie. No.
What a waste of time.
'Cause-
What a massive
wow.
waste of time
Wow.
8 episodes was. Just make it a goddamn movie. You could have told that whole backstory in like 10 minutes, and we could have had this whole
But
other
would it
thing.
have been? But would have has been as effective at the end? And you really would
Probably
have
more effective
You
because I
really would
really
have had to
hated
make.
it because there was too much of it.
You really would have to make a trilogy, because this is the first, at least. Did you like the Darth Plagueis cameo? Did you like the Yoda cameo? Are you like it? Do you like how they still somehow tied it into the fucking Skywalker saga? Son of a bee!
Well, you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of the dark side. Or the
I honestly was hoping that they would. Sorry, I'm honestly was hoping that they would turn Osha into Plagueis. Like that would be the big twist. She ends up being Plagueis. She because she kills
yeah.
the stranger.
Yeah.
Right? We don't. Has it ever been stated? Fact or whichever. I don't know what I'm saying.
Fact or fiction?
Fact or fiction?
What is
Has
this?
it ever been stated?
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Ripley's Believe It or bullshit.
We made it up.
We made it up. Did you know that most of this
Not
shit
this
we
time.
made up to sell books?
None.
And you fucking bought it, America. 2. Now 3.
I don't believe that. Ripley.
Hey,
Yo, Ripley.
I believe it not. Ripley.
Most people will say, I don't believe it. But
Fuck you, Ripley. I believe it not. Furthermore, you're kind of a twat. Ripley.
all right, so let's talk about pop music.
I'm talking about the guy Ripley, obviously. The character in Aliens is also named. She's awesome.
Yes. So this episode
Was the Ripley's Believe It or Not guy? Was he British?
Fuck off.
Was he British? I want to make sure that I used
I don't care.
twat in
What
the
do
right.
you know who hasn't talked about Ripley's Believe It or Not in 2024? Most people, but here we are.
Really? Well, that's a goddamn shame.
Well, I'll believe it not. Ripley? Hey, you see that?
No, it's fine.
Hey, son, you see that bit over there? We're going to beat it to death.
To death. And then we're going to believe it or not.
So anyway, Star Wars. So consistently throughout, I will say, with this show, the fighting is great. I enjoyed the fighting a lot.
That final duel
dude.
between Soul and the
Okay,
stranger
okay.
is fucking so
that was
good,
fun,
dude.
but I love the editing of it where they cut it where Osha and May hit each other, and then it cuts to them hitting lightsabers. Like, oh, that was a cool edit. That was fun.
How interesting was it that both finales of each show that we're watching this season of featured a must have been CGI'd helped moment between one actor playing two different roles, Aaron
is kinda
Moriarty
weird.
and
Yeah, yeah.
Amanda Sendler.
Yeah,
Right? Isn't that fucking weird?
it is pretty weird.
How did they both know?
How did they know?
I believe it not. Ripley.
Ripley's Believe It Not. Ripley's Believe It Do.
I'm believing. I'm not going to believe it, 'cause I'm Ripley.
Sounds like you're having a stroke.
Huh? Applesauce.
So
So I like Star Wars.
we're the worst, dude.
We are the worst.
I was about to fucking do it too. That's the worst part. I was about to chime
You
in.
started it.
You know who started the dark side? OSHA and May, apparently. So the stranger and OSHA, they have it before they get to the final fight. They have a moment where they're chasing each other, pretty much, or they're chasing after May, both of them. But she's trying to get to May, and he's trying to kill Saul, pretty much. And they're doing this whole confrontation. There's a lot of controversy to this episode.
Oh, how so?
So when we get there and we have the fight, we have Saul. First of all, Saul used the stranger's own method against him, where he turned off his lightsaber. It's like, which I really think
Saul was a bad motherfucker, dude.
I think that, dude.
Unfortunately, he's also an asshole who's like, "What are you doing?"
The biggest disservice to this actor is this fucking show, because Saul was the most important, like the most interesting part of the show. And then they completely ruined it in the last 2 episodes where I'm like, what the fuck are we doing with this? Why is he obsessed with these kids? We find out why. Sure. Obviously, it's about the whole the fact that they were conceived through the Force and all that stuff. But, like, it's just his motivation was still this, like, he had a chance to be like, no, I didn't mean to. But he said, yeah, I did. They don't deserve to have that power. And it's like, but who says that? And there's people complaining that they're like, well, this just confirms the Jedi are bad. I'm like, no. This confirms that he's a bad Jedi. This confirms that Saul was wrong. And it also shows that the twins, everybody was wrong in this situation.
This confirms that at a time when the Jedi were numerous through the galaxy, like all groups that become numerous, there are fucking shitheads like Moog. Is that his name, Moog? That guy is nothing. Nobody's ever going to write a goddamn Jedi story about Moog. Why? Because he didn't do shit. He, like, tended to other Jedi masters. That's it. Like, he was just a dude. He didn't advance any, whatever sword fighting technique. He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Now, that shows that even the best intentioned institutions can get too bloated to a point where you have to rein in every institution. You can't just let them keep getting more and more.
You need regulations.
More and more unchecked power. You just can't fucking do it.
You just can't do it.
Well, you can't. We're seeing it right now in people in power all over the world right now.
There's a couple of controversies to this episode because, one, we have a moment where OSHA grabs the lightsaber and she's squeezing it, and her rage is changing the crystal.
Well, she makes the kyber crystal bleed.
Makes it bleed. And everybody was like, oh, it took Luke this many days to do it in the comic book or whatever. And look,
I used to
be that guy. I was that guy. I was that guy with episode 7. I said that Rey was a Mary Sue. I was like, I think, why is she able to do?
So
hold on, let me get there.
Hey,
wait a minute, I'm making a point.
Whoa,
slow. Hey, pull back on them reins. Slow it up, boy.
Hurry up.
Right, but
But you're talking about.
I derail myself.
Did you
forget? Yeah, I did. I fucked it up. I lost it. My point was lost. You made me lose my point. It's your fault. No, my point was that, I was that guy who was like, why is she able to do these things? And it took Luke this long.
Took Luke how long for what?
To, like, grab the lightsaber or whatever. It took him a movie to figure out how to do that. She does it in this movie. And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Hold on. Let me get to my.
No, not you. Just.
No. And that's what I mean. I have that moment of like, what the fuck am I doing? This is look.
It was cool.
There's something. I understand if canon matters to you, and that is how you enjoy Star Wars, and this, that, and the other thing, and that's fine. But I'm telling you right now, I don't, and I don't give a shit. I just don't.
Even when I cared about canon, like.
And you can call me if that makes you call me an anti, like I'm not really a fan.
I suppose at some point in my life, I suppose at different points in my life, I've kind of been that douchebag comic book fan or that douchebag Star Wars fan is like, actually, of course you know that I have that the push in the glass. Oh, actually,
Everybody's like that with a franchise you love. Everybody's
of course. But I don't know. I mean, look, I grew up at a time where all we had was 3 movies and a long-running comic series. And we had Bantha Tracks, which was the monthly newsletter from the George Lucas fan club. That's all we had.
When you start to understand it, like with that Defenders book that we read on the show, or like when you start to understand what we kind of like what Dark Knight's Metal kind of touches on, and like this idea of
continuity can get too bloated.
Yeah, that can get real complicated. But well, it's just the idea of like you have to understand then why we call that show modern mythology, and the whole idea of it is they're myths, they're archetypes, like. You like that's the whole point. When you start to understand that, I think you start to understand the idea of like this stuff can change and these things change because it's not real. It is someone made this up.
What?
And then other people worked on this thing.
Hang on a second.
And put like how many times have we said that with continuity? Because every writer, every creative person, when they write or does anything with art, they want to put their stamp on it because that's what artists do. And it's bound to happen. And so, like, when we get down to the, like, well, she could bleed the crystal, and it took Luke. I don't fucking care, dude. Look, man. That is just not how I choose to engage with this entertainment. And if you want to do that, if that gets you fucking hard, go for it, buddy,
dude.
I don't care.
Sure,
but I'm tired of caring about this shit. I really am. Like, do whatever you fucking want.
Can I? Do my counterpoint?
Yes. I'm sorry. I was rambling.
Here you go, you fuckface. No.
Talk, bitch. You talk when I tell you to.
Talk, yeah. Now it's your turn. As far as canon goes, I know that you have to make the Kyber crystal. You have to make the Kyber crystal bleed to get the red Sith lightsaber. Okay, I know that.
Yeah.
I think that's cool that we saw that for the first time on film.
You actually saw it start to bleed.
Do you fucking hear me? On film, somebody actually captured a real lightsaber being turned into a real. That's how much I'm into this franchise. Obviously,
how much would you give them?
$1 million, bitch.
We have so many other ones. That's a classic.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna do a classic, I'd much rather have "I'll Eat Your Ass."
Come here.
Sure. Sure, no problem. Wow. Somebody just threw something across the room and pulled.
What'd you do?
Yep.
Are you done?
No.
I said that to myself on them drops. Kyber crystal bleeding on film.
It sounds really well. It
been
does
talked
sound,
about in the books.
It's
been in the comics.
Sure,
We've
right?
never
But
seen
it's
in live
cool. And as far as being able to grab a lightsaber or what, I don't. Fuck off, man. Who cares? And you know what's really, really cool?
How can Yoda as a Force ghost strike down this with light? I don't fucking care.
Fucking whatever makes
How
the
is he a
story.
fucking ghost?
Right? Jesus Christ. How are we in a galaxy
Space magic.
far Space wizards.
You fucking idiot. It's space magic.
One of the cool...
How could they have babies in the Force? I don't fucking care. It's space magic. Jesus.
One of the greatest franchise
It's silly
theories that I think is out there is the James Bond codename theory, which is that Sean Connery was playing a character whose codename was 007 James Bond. Then he died at some point, or he retired.
Right. And
then Roger Moore,
it's
blah,
like
blah,
the
blah,
first-
right?
It isn't the first idea.
You know what?
of
That's
it.
really fucking cool because that means every writer who writes him after that
It's their Bond, yeah.
can put his stamp on it, and no
Yeah.
previous writer is going to get butthurt about it. Yeah, I said that. I think that's probably something we don't say anymore, butthurt.
No, it's fine.
Okay. But no previous writer is going to get butthurt about it, and but you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
That's why James Bond, even though it's
inherently a legacy character.
sure, but
It's supposed to be.
that's why it's a cool theory because it allows. That's why the Elseworlds books are so cool. That's why
It's always fun to do that.
if DC is going to make Elseworlds books, Why the fuck are you rebooting anything?
Who
Just
cares?
say it was an Elseworlds book, asshole.
That's always your out.
Right?
It's a what if book.
That's one of the few things that I love about DC is that you can literally
I think DC understands it more than Marvel of like these are mythological characters.
Yes, and you can play with that more than anything.
And sometimes
Honestly,
when I'm reading DC,
So I'm coming day and night. I mean, it's terrific.
back to Star Wars.
But you basically have Marvel and then the Infinites or then the Ultimates universe in Marvel.
well, I don't want to get in the weeds with that.
I'm just saying,
yeah.
and that's DC. How many? God,
Yeah.
countless fucking
Yeah.
right,
Who fucking-
countless goddamn time, and we've seen them all. Anyway,
So many crises.
so many crises. Hey, we got another crisis, boss.
That's a crisis. I believe
well,
it.
fucking great.
That crisis, I believe it.
You
Not.
fucking dick, Ripley. I believe it. Not Ripley. Now get me
Out of this hole.
Out of this hole.
This plot hole a-hole.
Get me out of this. Get me out of this. Get me out of this announcing
out of this
hole. Review hole. Because I don't know where to go from here. The point is that I really I like the show. I like all of the all of the Jedi type shit.
The other controversy is one. It's like people are like accusing this of like dangling the carrot of like nostalgia bait of like it's fan service of like it's Plagueis. Ooh, this is where Plagueis gets the idea about Anakin. And then there's people mocking that and saying it breaks canon. I'm like,
How?
I don't care.
Me fucking neither, dude.
And again, if you do care, I'm not saying that's stupid that you do. I'm just saying
Right.
I don't.
Right. Yeah.
Do it.
Listen,
Fucking have your thing.
You know what? This is perfect for religion. I will never make fun of you if you go to church
Or you
every
believe in God,
Sunday.
I don't care.
I will. But the minute that you come to me and ask me if I've heard of the fucking wisdom of Jesus Christ or some shit, that's when we have a fucking problem, bro. That's when we have a fucking problem, bro. That's when we have a fucking problem, bro.
And if you come to me and tell me that you like Star Wars theory, that's when we got a fucking problem,
bro.
Because I hate that fucking guy.
What? Star Wars theory.
He's some
It's a
fucking
guy?
that he's a Star Wars YouTuber. He was big for a while, like a long time, and then at some point he like took a chud turn, took a left turn to Chudsville, and
More like a right
been
turn.
hanging out with Mahler and those other fuckers, and I was just like, well, I already didn't find your takes good, and now they're definitely not because he's just he is one of those guys. Well, actually, but he's also someone that just posts like he just
Cringy
hangs
shit.
out with. He hangs out again with like Nerdrotic and
Okay,
fucking
well,
Mahler, so I'm like, he's probably not a good
well,
guy.
let's
And then I see
Stop talking about him then. Why are we talking about
You
him?
know what? Yeah, why am I wasting my oxygen?
I
Why did I go
over.
fucking-
Well, no, you were fine. I asked about him. Because What?
No, I meant the accent. Didn't
Overall,
make sense.
what am I doing it for, boss?
You feck.
Yeah. The
America.
Liberty Prime.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use those.
No, I'm sorry. It looked like
Ever.
It looked like this one.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
Overall,
Sloppy.
I think I do want to see another season.
No.
Okay.
I
I
don't.
think the
I
tragedy
don't.
of Saul is great because you get that twist of like she was saying to him, "I'm sorry," because she's got to make him the scapegoat in all this to save the Jedi Order,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's tragic, and that's pretty cool.
I also yeah.
It's not cool. I'm saying it's good writing. It's good setting up.
You're gonna get torched on that. People hate this show, but yeah, you're right. I think they.
Who fucking hates this show?
No, I think
Carter and I like this show. I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks because my brother, who made my parents take me to
my
Star
brother
Wars,
could beat up your brother.
fucking A. And no, if you ask him, I did not say that on the air because I don't want people.
nothing but garbage.
Well, I don't want people trying to
Nothing
fight
but
my brother.
garbage, guy.
Who's gonna fight your brother?
I'm saying like if
I
I
don't know who he is.
well, let's go take let's
I'm gonna take you to.
let's do this.
I'm gonna take-
Let's do this.
I'm gonna
We'll
take you
be-
outside.
We'll be back. You won't notice.
Oh, he's always got his shit right before we're talking about comics. Always. Poop break. We'll be back, and we're going to be talking about.
I want to turn my headphones off.
We're going to be talking about. Hold on. You're going to want to have your headphones on this. We're going to be talking about one of my favorite books. Just a
Good
book,
Country.
God Country. Good Country. It's God Country. So
God Pantry.
we got to take my dog out. He's taking a shit. So do me a favor and.
Good Country.
All right, Tyler. We got a comic book post Cooper potty break. So this book.
Did he actually do anything out there? I think he just wanted to go outside and bark at everybody.
He likes to just hang out. Yeah, it really was just.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.